My biggest discrepancy is the fan vote because I was paying very close attention to the chats when the URL would post out the votes, right? And there's two major flaws with it. One, the votes don't come out at the same time. So the fact that there is a
I don't like
time
that.
limit discrepancy between two names
Mm-hmm.
being published and the ability to select the name, I feel like that instantly kind of adds to some kind of psychological click, right? Second problem is you can vote for both names. So I can click both names and not just be ruled out. A third problem, but not as big as a problem, not necessarily a URL or caffeine thing. If you're watching the stream on somebody else's stream, you can't vote. So that's kind of why I think the watch parties aren't so successful with this, because like if you're watching Sue Surf stream with him, you can't vote on the battle, and you miss out on that opportunity to cast your opinion.
Which I don't understand why they're pushing people to go to these watch parties, but yet you can't vote. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and like Smack even said, this is why y'all need to watch it on caffeine so you can be part of the voting process. But I definitely understand that there is also another glitch where you can vote on your phone and let's say on the laptop as well. So people can be getting more than one vote potentially if people want to be that fucking petty.
You do have to be signed in to vote. And that's another thing that Ryder was saying, that he felt like there was a whole 15 seconds at the end where you couldn't vote for him and his votes was just staying in the same place.
Yes, that was another one. His voting got taken off, and then Mike P's came up. They need to come on at the same time and get off at the same time. So we can just squash all this conspiracy shit. So so we all know that this was a fair vote if it comes down to the fan vote.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because Mike P and Rada and Loso and Nunn were really like a 4% or 2% and 5% marginal swing between the two, a couple hundreds of votes away from each other. So I let you know they were both very close battles, but the discrepancy was the time. So I mean, who's to say that if it comes out equal, the results are not the same? We can't prove that, but you need to at least give the fairest opportunity possible.
Yeah, when that starts to happen, you start to get all the Sunday morning quarterbacks going, hey, this guy's got to deal with caffeine.
Monday morning. Oh, yeah, Sunday morning.
Right. He looks great on the screen. People are watching him. They're tuned in. Oh, what's a few seconds going to do? But that few seconds can cost you the battle.
Because if you look at it, it's so close.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Battle rap, it doesn't belong to Smack. It doesn't belong to any other league. It doesn't belong to media. It belongs to the people. And when you give people the opportunity of getting a fair vote, now you're just starting to, you're starting to take it out of the hands of who it belongs to. And I'm not saying this is deliberate. I don't have any proof of that. We're just saying that there's something that needs to be fixed to make this as fair as possible, because we know Mike P is way more popular than Ryder. And if it comes down to only a couple hundred votes, if they come on at the same time and leave at the same time, do we get the same results? Is this silk shirt man moving on next week? Like, how does this turn out?
I have a question.
It needs to be 100% fair.
I got a question for you guys and a question for everybody in the chat as well. Do you think because URL made an accessible prize open to everyone, a cash prize at the end, the brackets, us being media, obviously with the media bracket, there's an incentive for us to vote for the people we want to make our opportunity to win cash more likely than who really won?
Yes, and yes.
I knew that's where you were going.
Watching the battles, friends, on Saturday, because we fill out the media bracket, so we have people who we would like to see win, because money's on the line. It's a bracket. There's pride, all of that stuff. But you have to separate that and say who actually won the battle, and I had to literally step back, take a few seconds and go, nah, I would be a sucker if I just voted for the person who I thought, was going to win in my bracket. I had to eat crow. I had to vote for the other guys a few times, in these battles. But not everyone is going to do that. And we know that. So yes, people are definitely going to be voting for people who they thought actually didn't win, just so their brackets could stay intact. But, it's the price we got to pay for a chance to win some change, I guess.
I will say, yeah, go ahead, Cece.
But no, just real quick. That's why I said in the beginning of the show when we was recapping Mike P and why did I just have a brain fart? Mikey and Ryder. So I said that I ain't no hating that bitch. I had Ryder winning, and I voted for Ryder. However, like you said, it's still like not if you got money on the line.
In that split second, where you going? Where you going?
Might be like, you know what? Ain't nobody gonna know I was on some bullshit.
Real quick,
it was debatable anyway.
Yeah. Shouts to the Tooth. What's the word, King? What's the word? And I see you out here. But I want to say this though. If that, I do think people have swayed their votes for their own personal desires. However, Loso and Nundan kind of also breaks that theory. Because I don't know anybody with Nundan in their bracket.
Right.
You know?
So it's like the fact that, Loso is way more popular. He got the whole Christian crowd jumping into caffeine, and Nundan won the fan vote? Like, that's crazy. So,
I had to keep it a buck on that one too, even though I had Loso winning. Right. I mean, I had Loso win on my bracket.
Right. There could not have been that many, like
a fun comment from one of our teammates here. People love underdogs more than the Christians.
Yeah, they sent both of them home, man.
Did they ever?
Oof. Hey, you know what though? At least they got to go home with one another. You know what I'm saying? They got to share the experience. They can console each other. Did CC just pause me?
She did pause you.
Pause.
It went down. She definitely.